Braden and Nina.
He's right there.
Okay, he'll show up. Oh, yeah, there he is. Okay, good. Autumn Joy, come on in here, lady.
Hi. Hi, everybody.
Hi, beautiful.
Hi,
Coca Lonnie.
I'm only talking to you.
Okay, sorry, Nina. I'll take it. We're not going to say why, but listen, thank you everybody for chiming in. Tell all your friends it's Ladies Night. If they haven't logged on yet, just send the link to them. Tell them to come right here because we've got a lot of catching up to do. So, all right, where shall we start? I mean, okay, I'll start. BET fam, Stephen Hill, just got engaged to one of my good friends, the very talented and beautiful Shantae Moore.
Shantae's got a man at home now.
They got engaged. I mean, I knew those two were dating. That's funny, Kokolani. But yeah, she's got a whole fiance now. What do we think? Thoughts?
Did we know they were dating?
It's recent. We just found out recently. I know, just from there, I stalk her page.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, I'm happy for them because she was married to Kenny Lattimore before, right? And Kenny's happily married and loving life. And I think, everybody needs to have love. So that's really great. I'm happy.
Yeah. I mean, kudos to them. They came up during the era before social media, so they don't feel the need to show too much everywhere. So that's probably why we didn't know. So yeah, congrats to them.
Yeah. Autumn, I think your mic is bad.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Doggone it. Well, you know what? While you're fixing that, I'm sure Robin is.
Lattimore in studio today. And he's happily married to Judge Faith Jenkins. And I wanted to ask about his situation with Shantae, but they were like, no, don't do that.
You should have asked. Kenny's a really good person. He would have asked.
He's great, but who wants to talk about their ex-wife when about their new wife?
They share kids together though, so that would be okay.
No, I'm glad you didn't bring it up. That would have been so messy.
I'm glad I didn't either.
Oh my gosh.
That's the right time to bring that up. And I like mentioning the fact that you mentioned Kenny Lattimore. I like that he and Faith are kind of touring together. Yeah. It's kind of nice, right? I mean, she's doing her, I guess relationship talking. They'll have a topic and he'll sing. I love the whole concept.
Conversation and it's called Conversation and Concert.
Yeah, they're in DC, I think.
No, they were just in DC. They're in Atlanta now.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Speaking of relationships, Cynthia Bailey just announced the reason that she left the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And she said that, she wanted to do it for her marriage. I mean, being on a reality show, I'm sure can't be easy. If you've got problems, that's going to elevate it. But what do you think about that?
I think it's wonderful. I think you should absolutely prioritize your marriage and, whatever you got to do. You took a covenant God in front of, all these people, that should be the priority. I mean, I know she gets a check from it, but at this point, Cynthia has other options. I mean, she's got an established reputation and she could do other things. I think it's dope. Prioritize your family, whether it be husband or children. I'm all for it.
And I'm just going to ask a question. She said she did it for her marriage right now with Mike, right? Right. And that's good because I think the other marriage, both of them were getting a check, Peter was getting a check. So it was but Mike's already established. He doesn't need a check from, that show. And he, I think that's what makes it real. And I love what Nina said. You got to prioritize your family. And, unless y'all met on the show and y'all got married on the show and everybody's in your business. But I really love the fact that Cynthia is happy right now. After everything that she went through publicly, I'm happy that she's happy.
Yeah. Well, I hope my mic does. My mic sound crazy?
No, it's Angela's mic.
Oh, okay. I'm done.
Everybody.
See, look, we're perfect.
Yeah, well, no, I was gonna say, I mean, there is something called the curse of, reality TV. It goes all the way back. Remember Jessica Simpson and Nick Lachey when they did their show, and they shortly after got a divorce. So, I do think that there is something that happens to relationships when you go on that big of a stage, because remember, oh gosh, the Real Housewife that came on and filled in for Nina that day, she pretty much said, they wanted her to make her divorce the big topic, and they wanted everybody, and to be coming from a person that did reality TV, and I have been asked to do shows since then, but I just value my personal space and I value my relationship way too much to put it out there for people to judge, people to interject their opinions that aren't asked for my man to be opened up and exposed to certain things. And you got to remember, things that we're okay with, and they may say, oh yeah, I can handle it, but they've never been put in the spotlight like that. So they don't really know, how it'll affect their mental health. So, kudos to her for choosing her relationship over the chat.
I totally agree with you. And it was Charisse Jordan Jackson. She ended up leaving the show because she was going through a divorce, and they wanted, all of that. They wanted to just exploit the whole situation. And she said, you know what? I've got children. I'm not going to put them through this. You can have this champagne glass right back. Right. And I respect her for that. So, okay, so while we're on the whole relationship topic, what do you think about Drake, with his new girlfriend so quickly after leaving? What was the other one's name? The one he shut down the whole stadium for?
They broke up already?
Yes, he's got somebody.
He's certified lover boy. What do you expect? I mean, that's Drake's MO. That's what he does, I'm sure he has no shortage of women.
But, I think that was one of the questions that was asked, like, how soon after you break up with somebody should you be in a deep relationship with someone else? I mean, is there a time? Go ahead. What'd you say?
Listen, Drake probably has so many girls on the back burner that are just like waiting their turn. And Drake is one of those kind of people. It can be a revolving door. It sucks. But when you have that much variety, I mean, can you blame him? If there's a woman that's willing to step up to the plate and do things that he likes and loves. And apparently this new girl is someone that's not famous, which I do think is something that he raps about it quite frequently in some of his songs. He just wants a regular girl that's down for him. And apparently this girl, she lives in Miami. She's Canadian. So they have, the Canadian roots in common. So yeah, I mean, it sounds like, hopefully this one lasts. So
Nina?
I mean, it probably won't last because eventually she'll get exposed. And then, the hype of social media and the curse that we were just talking about will hit them. But it's hard. It takes a really strong one to be in that light with a Drake when you always, have women throwing yourself at them. And it's going to be difficult. But I wish him the best of luck. To answer Coca's question, though, like, I think if you didn't commit the foul, why you got to be on the bench? Like, that's relationship. If you didn't commit the foul, why you got to sit the bench? It depends who the foul was on. If you committed the foul, then go sit on the bench and take a timeout. But if you didn't, some people are in relationships with good intentions and they behave as they should and they give their all. And if the other person misbehaved, why should you be on the sideline wasting your precious life because they're the ones acting a fool? You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I would like to add, I think with maturity comes, and especially with guys, because oftentimes they will go from relationship to relationship to relationship, whereas women, once you mature, you have a tendency to take the time to heal. And that gives your next relationship a much better chance because you're not living the same problems over and over and over.
And you're not rebounding.
Well,
right.
I agree, Angela. But you got to think this relationship was how long? 3 weeks? You know what I'm saying? I don't think that they had enough time to really form, a huge bond between each other. The relationship with Drake did what it was supposed to do for her. She was in a shade room with Fashion Nova, all of a sudden, so it did what it was supposed to do. She can move on, keep making her coins, and Drake's happy.
Yeah,
her son got that big old OVO chain that's probably worth 10 stacks.
Everybody's happy. But yeah, I think that's exactly it. If it's like a relationship, yeah, you need time to get over that. But if it's just, this is what we're doing right now, no, just keep it moving. Right?
Yeah. And I honestly, after that dinner, we didn't hear too much from them. So I don't think whatever she was saying at that dinner must not have impressed him enough to keep moving forward. Because if you think about it, that was the last time we really heard or saw anything about them. So
yeah. And and we heard a lot about them. So, okay, on to something that's really kind of tragic. That whole Alec Baldwin shooting on the set. I mean, my heart just goes, I mean, can you imagine? Like shooting somebody by accident, fatally shooting someone. But then to take that tragedy, what are the Trumps doing? What is it Junior doing with the t-shirts and exploiting that? What is the whole point in that? Who's got
bad taste? I think it's bad taste. Well, just talking about the Alec thing, I work in film and just knowing that's a real big thing to bring up for everybody. When you're on the set with something, just checking the P's and the Q's and making sure the guns aren't loaded, making sure it has the blanks in it. They didn't go through the proper thing. But like you said, to have that fatally thing happen, and then for Donald Trump Jr. to make fun of it. And even if he was like, guns don't kill people, Alec Baldwin kills guns with Alec Baldwin or something. What does it say? Oh, I can't read it. It says guns don't kill people, Alec Baldwin kills people. And I think he was saying that because, I think maybe back in the day, didn't Alec Baldwin play Trump on Saturday Night Live? Yes, so I think that bitterness.
He did a great
job. He did a very good job. So I think that bitterness, was like they were trying to get back at him, but that was just horrible. Bad taste.
Yeah. And there were more reports that came out saying how apparently there were issues on the set where multiple people were complaining about safety issues. And you remember Bruce Lee's son, same deal, was shot and killed by, a gun. But my thing is, they keep saying a projectile object. I haven't heard the word bullet. I haven't heard the word rubber bullet. So they're saying project. So I'm wondering. It was a projectile. Yeah, it's like, where were the checks and balances?
Exactly.
Why did it need to be loaded? Like, many questions. Yeah.
And usually in safety, when you do have projectiles, they give everybody, when someone has a gun, you have to be at least 20 feet away. They do those little safety things. But I'm thinking, how sometimes when you got veterans on the set and people like, oh, I've been doing this for years, we don't have to go through it. I just think sometimes those things happen. But prayers go out to all the families.
Yeah, I agree. Prayers go out to both families. Okay, there was, Kokalani, you were saying something in the break about voting. You wanted to talk about the importance.
Oh, yeah. If you live in Virginia, the DMV area, make sure you early vote this week, November 2nd. It's a very, very tight race for governor in the state of Virginia. It's very, very tight. When I say very, very tight, it's very tight. So please make sure you vote. It's super, super important. When I say it's very tight, it's super tight. Both of the candidates for governors that are running, they're not incumbents. So these are both new positions. And the one, each candidate is different. Biden was just in Virginia yesterday. He had a rally, with the Democratic nominee, but the other one is sort of like, and I'm not giving any political endorsement, but he's like a Trump understudy. So, and I'm just surprised how it's so tight, like 45, 46%. So just everybody vote.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah, that's awesome. I ran across this bizarre story. I don't know if you guys have seen it. I'm sure you have, because you know everything that's happening in pop culture. But this Baltimore man was bragging about stealing a woman's money. He said it wasn't a robbery. It was a finesse. And for those who haven't heard the story, apparently, so this woman came into all these drugs. And I don't know how she came into the drugs, but she contacted this guy who she knew was a little bit shady because she didn't know how to sell it and just get the money. All she wanted was the money. So she had this crush on this guy, calls him up and said, hey, could you, come to Baltimore and help me sell these drugs? And then, I'll give you some of the money for it. So he came to Baltimore. Those two had a little fling, it was just got real heated, and she's thinking this is her new boo now. So then, they go to the mall, sell all the drugs, he goes his way, and I guess he's like, I'll take care of the whole thing. Not only did he steal the drugs, he stole all the money, and she blasted him on social media saying, by name, and is just putting him on blast. He gets on social media and said, no, it wasn't a theft at all. It was a finesse. I don't even know what that means. but saying it wasn't a theft. But I mean, when you're doing something a little bit shady like that, what are your thoughts? Have you heard about that story?
I mean, first of all, I know this is the first time I'm hearing it, but when you said Baltimore, I was like, not surprised. But not just that, don't the feds watch social media? Like, they're both incriminating themselves. If anything, sorry, Robin. Our producer, she's from Baltimore. Incriminating themselves, being all over social media, admitting that they were selling drugs and getting money for, I don't know. But yeah, this whole situation just sounds messy.
I mean, and no one, I mean, it goes to show, her, just discard her. It's like you're going to shoplift at a store and be like, okay, we're going to get all the stuff. And then somebody takes all the stuff and doesn't cut you off. And you can't, I mean, you're wrong for even doing it in the first place. So, she can't, just learn and keep it moving. Just say no to drugs.
Look at Roger. Roger, why would she even go on social media and announce her guilt? I know, her shadiness and her foolishness all in one. On social media, my illegal drugs. Nina, what are your thoughts?
I love to see a good train wreck, a good train crash. When they go on social media and tell all the business, I'm like, thanks for the tea, guys.
It's a mess.
It sounds stupid. So, like David Benjamin said, criminals do the dumbest things, like, for real.
Yeah, that's pretty dumb. Lawan, your thoughts. Should R. Kelly's Grammys be rescinded? Oh, yeah, they're saying that they're not taking them, I guess not just yet. That's the topic in LA. What do you think? Should they be rescinded? Should they be taken?
For me, I personally think if that's the case, you're going to start taking about. They already did it with Bill Cosby with the Mark Twain Comedy Award from the Kennedy Center, taking back stuff. I'm like, people do bodies of work. You can't take back somebody's home run, because didn't they do that before to somebody's what was the guy who the baseball player? He won some. I don't think you should take people's awards back. No, don't do that. He won them. Let them keep it. Just don't.
The only time I think you should take them back is if it's based on something that was misrepresented at the time. I mean, if it's solely based on his music, then But if it was like a Nobel Peace Prize award that's based on like, how someone, what they do in the community and who they are and stuff like that, it's one thing. But I mean, is it even going to be worth anything anyways? You know what I mean? Like, he's going to be in jail. So I don't know. I mean, I'm indifferent. I don't really care if they took him or not. But I mean, I would think that if you're going to take him, let it be based on a misrepresentation that got him the award. You know what I mean? That wasn't accurate.
Like Milli Vanilli, like when you found out they didn't sing the songs, it's okay to take back any awards that they got because they lied. But
heartbroken. Oh, so heartbroken.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, no, I agree. I think they should let him keep it. He probably could use the money. He might be able to like sell them down the line or something. Because are they made out of gold? Is that a thing? Or do you know what they're made out of? Like, I don't know. He may be able to pawn them off or something later on. But they did take away like his R. Kelly Day, I believe in like, was it Louisiana or something? So, stuff like that. Cool. Because how do you celebrate R. Kelly Day?
Right.
But yeah, his awards, he should be able to get those.
Okay, what about the whole Chrissy Teigen? Unfortunately, they lost a child, and everybody knew about that. But when the family travels, they take the baby's ashes with them. Do you think it's creepy, or do you think would you do it? What do you guys think about that?
It depends on how they're taking the ashes, because I know when certain people pass away, there's jewelry that can be made, like little firestones that people can put in their necklaces and earrings, and they can have those worn as jewelry. So if they are doing it in a way like that, but if they're actually carrying the urn, that's something I don't, and I can't judge, but everybody grieves differently. But if it's jewelry or something where no one would know unless you told them, oh, this is my son, but everyone grieves differently. What do you think?
You know what? I agree with that. And I was gonna speak to the jewelry point as well. If it was like a ring or something like that. But it's like, as a mom, I weirdly kind of get it. There's a difference between losing a baby a couple of months in She carried this baby full term, still had to deliver the baby. And you know what I'm saying? So they formed that connection. They formed that bond. Like when that baby's in your belly, that you feel everything, you know. And so I understand. I get it. You know, that baby Jack is still part of their everyday life. They have two toddlers who they probably were talking to the mommy's belly and talking about baby Jack. And so whatever they're doing within their family to heal, I'm a fan of.
Yeah.
I agree with both of y'all. I've never gone through a loss of a child, but I know it's significant. I know people who have. So I could never say what you should or shouldn't do. And like Autumn said, the longer that you carry that child, the greater the connection. I mean, even if you lost a baby early, like do whatever makes you feel, keep, you know, at peace with it. So like, I'll never judge. I've never even cremated anyone to have ashes anywhere, but I'm sure there's like a, you know, whatever the reason is, like I'm hands off of it because they were very excited. I mean, I remember the video when they announced that they were having that baby. I mean, it was so touching. So I can imagine as happy and excited as they were, the grief is probably just as deep.
Yeah, I agree with all of them. Basically, you just do whatever you need to do. I'm not here to judge either. I mean, I don't have children, unfortunately, but I did lose my dad and we had him cremated. And all the girls, we all have a portion of his ashes. And I'm grateful, you know, I'm just grateful. I know he's not there, but it's, you know, for me, it's just like whatever you can have to hold on to of your loved one. Just do what you got to do. I totally get it. Okay, in other news, this is all relationship. Leaving it to pillow talk, woman. We're gonna talk about relationships all day. So Wendy Williams. So Kevin Hunter is now engaged.
Kelvin.
Missed or whatever.
His name is Kelvin?
It's Kevin.
His name is Kelvin, but go ahead.
It's Kevin.
No, his name is actually Kelvin, but she called him Kevin while they were married. But his birth certificate says Kevin.
Well, it's Kevin to me. And today I'm not even going to honor him with his government name. Hunter.
Go ahead.
So Kevin is now engaged to the mistress, and you know a lot of people are wondering: is this what sent Wendy, you know, back into her problems? Or anyway, what are your thoughts about this whole mess?
You know what? I kind of want to, you know, I'm team Wendy. You know, I kind of want to err on the side of the fact that she's not allowing their energy to affect what she really has going on. You know, I mean, did they just get engaged? Are we just finding out about it? Because, you know, she's been in and out the hospital for a while now. So is this just news to us? Maybe somebody broke it. And then how in the world can he afford an $80,000 ring?
With Wendy's money.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, is he doing this to drive like the nail in the coffin for Wendy, like to try to get to her? You know, I don't trust him. Like with anything pertaining to Wendy and that mistress, I just do not trust his moves. I feel like he does a lot to spite Wendy, and so again, that's why I'm like, okay, I'm just going to be team Wendy on this because she is in a very fragile state, and God forbid something happens to her based off of this. So you know, I don't like it.
Okay, I have two things. Okay, first off, I've heard other people say, well, you know, they're divorced now. Let him be happy, go on and do his thing. But I also know that karma comes back. So the way you get a man is the way you probably gonna lose him. So the way she, you know, his fiance got him, you know, that doesn't mean his stripes has changed because he cheated on Wendy while they were married. And so chances are he might cheat on her too. But here's the caveat that I want y'all to think about. That $80,000 engagement ring, because you know Wendy's paying him, what is it called, palimony? And in the divorce settlement, she does not have to pay him once he remarries. Now, Kevin put out a message, I think last week, I'm not sure, but he put out a marriage saying we don't need to go to the courthouse to define our love. So my question is, this is me, we will look, is he just being engaged to her and never going to marry her because he wants to keep getting that palimony, or is he going to get married? Because that check stops once they get married. So I don't know. You know, what do you guys think? Because that could be spiteful and nasty.
The plot thickens, man. And like I said, I don't trust him. So you know what? You're probably right, Kokalani. Like he just strikes me as that cold-hearted, vindictive New York type of dude that just will do anything to spite Wendy.
Yeah.
When he said he's not going to the courthouse, I was like, wait a minute. He was like, yeah, I'm never going to go through that again. I'm like, so what do you say? You're going to marry me, but you're going to get the ring? Y'all going to play house with Wendy's money? So I pray that, he gets married.
I mean, they've been playing house. Remember, the girl was like in the house and all of that. So, yeah, man, it's terrible.
Nina?
I mean, they've been doing it. So, but I know a lot of people who are like fake married, like they'll announce that they're married and then they won't ever sign the marriage certificate. So I could see him doing something like that, just do it and then just to not cut his money off. Because I don't think Kevin's stupid. I think he's very manipulative.
Yeah. Probably going to be fake married. And, like you said, like most of the people in the comments, that he is not going to cut that check off. Well, you know what, before we leave, I mean, we've got we're pretty much at the end of the conversation. Was there anything that you ladies wanted to bring up that we didn't cover? So happy to see all four of us together.
No, I'm dealing with an ear infection. So I've got a really bad ear infection and I'm supposed to have an ear infection and I'm going to put Bray to bed. So I'm gonna sign off, y'all.
We're gonna have Nina first say your goodbyes and give out your social media.
Yes. All right. Good night, y'all. Don't forget, you can check me out every day from 3 to 7 on the Frank Ski Show with me and Nina Brown. My social media is. You gonna say bye? Say bye, Bray. Say bye. Look, it says yeah, Spider-Man and I. Social media is at Panina Brown on Instagram and at Nina Brown on Twitter. Say goodnight. Say goodnight. Say goodnight.
Oh, good night, Braden and Nina. Feel better, Nina. So glad to see you. All right, Autumn Joy.
Hey everyone. Hello. All right. You can come and follow me at Autumn Joy with an I live. Make sure you go to WHUR.com. Get your vote on for the Goldie Awards. Vote for Suitland High School. Woo! And I mean, there's so many different categories you can vote for. So go ahead and get your vote on it. Catch me Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Bye. Autumn, aren't you giving that money away? When are you giving that $1,000 away?
$1,000. How did I forget about that? Thank you, Kokolani. So yes, we are getting our first grand prize winner this Friday for $1,000 worth of free groceries to shop at Giant. Y'all better tap in because you can win $100 daily, but $1,000 we're going to get our grand prize winner this Friday. So good luck, Live Squad.
$1,000 in groceries. Yes, please. And I love your hair this way, by the way, Autumn Joy. Kokolani, what you got going on?
Well, hello. Make sure you check me out this Saturday from 12 to 5. And 4 o'clock, we do our normal face-off. But this weekend, a lot of kids will probably be doing a little trick-or-treating or celebrating the Harvest Festival. And there are a lot of songs that commemorating the boo and the rah and Halloween and all of that. So what we'll be doing for the first portion of the 4 o'clock hours, we'll be playing songs themed around that. So you get to vote on your best one. What is the best song for this season? Is it Thriller by Michael Jackson, Houdini? Just think of all those songs you can call and vote. And we're just going to have a good time on Saturday. And don't forget, you can always follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Kokolani. That's Cokalani. All right.
Yay! Oh, that's so awesome. Thank you so much, Kokolani. Thank you to all the ladies. Thank you all for joining us. You know what? Halloween is coming up. Remember last year we dressed up, but actually it was only Autumn Joy and I who showed up in costume. So, oh well, I would have dressed up again for you. Well, maybe tomorrow. You never know. So tomorrow night, 9 o'clock, on our road to celebrating our 50th anniversary, we're having WHUR family, past and present, telling all the good stories about what makes WHUR what it is today. So it's all about you, our listeners. So we really appreciate you. Come join us tomorrow. you are going to be so surprised at who we were able to get in touch with. You loved them then, and I know you still love them now, but it has been a minute. You have to show up to see who I am talking about. You're going to love it. Tell all your friends not to miss it. That's tomorrow night, right here on this platform at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right? So make sure you follow us on social media at WHUR-FM on all platforms, and follow me while you're at it at Angela Stribling on all platforms. Love you much. Have a great night. See you tomorrow.